Computer's on. Get the hell out of there. Turn the cell phone off.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores.
Oh, are we ready to talk to Mark?
Well,
Hey.
it's an experiment. And we
How
hope
are
it
you?
works well.
You're on the air.
Yeah, I wonder if I get the time in the town.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1279, April 3rd, 2024. We're in the middle of 3 days in a row when the high temperature record was set in 1921. It was 81 degrees on this day in 1921, 9 degrees in 1954, almost 8 inches of snow on this day in 2018. And our dear friends at Aquaside are going to bring us the ice outs. If you own a lakefront or a pond or a swimming hole that you think you can actually snooker people into believing is a swimming area, use Aquaside that gets rid of weeds and algae and all this stuff the kids don't want to deal with when they're swimming. The products are easy to use. They work quickly. They're safe. The EPA is weighed in. The DNR, they're safe for you, the family, and the fish. And there's no need to let weeds overtake your lake or pond this summer. Call Aquaside today. Tell them what you got. They'll help you understand what it is and get you the right products. Your place will look great all summer long. Call Aquaside at 1-800-328-9350 or go to aquaside.com.
Hail the flashlight,
No,
kid.
I'm doing ice outs now. See, Aquaside brings us the ice outs.
I was jumping the gun.
On Minnetonka, ice went out today in 1976, 1995, and 2007. However, for all we know, ice went out on this day in 1856 or on any April 3rd between 1864 and 1872, because those years are unknown. And White Bear Lake had ice outs today in 1995 and 1998.
Hail the flashlight, King.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
We're joined by Mark Anderson, who's the managing editor of the Staples World. Hello, Mark.
Oh,
And I was sent by a listener a story. Unfortunately, it's old news now. It was Wednesday, November 29th, that you printed the famous moose story, and I was impressed with it as a thorough job of reporting.
yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think that's exactly how it was supposed to be read, with that type of interest.
What motivated the people of Staples? They thought they were in downtown Manhattan or something for a Thanksgiving Day parade. They really turned out for this moose. Is that normal up there?
No, there's been moose coming through before, but this is just the one that made a big splash on Facebook, and people were tracking it for, a month or so.
The reason I thought it was so thorough is that when I finished reading the story, I had no questions.
Uh-huh.
That was a great, were you out in the field following the moose?
Yeah, I spent about 6 hours following the moose, actually. And that was, we got a phone call that the moose was in a field. I went out, and within 5 minutes I had a picture.
Yeah.
But I just felt that I needed to follow up more because there were so many people out there. I thought there might be more of a story. And then there was, just with the moose jumping the fence. I got a picture of that.
Sure. And the horses chasing it.
Yeah. That was the unusual part, is the horses chased it back and forth across the field.
And we got the names of the people whose farms the moose trespassed on. It was, are you the only reporter on the paper?
No, we have two of us who do news reporting, but our whole office is only 4 people. So
kind of like the St. Paul Pioneer Press.
Yeah, right up there with that.
Sure.
Do you have a building? Does the World have a office space?
Yeah. We have an office in downtown Staples.
Oh,
Downtown.
He's got you beat there, Joe.
Yeah, the Pioneer Press doesn't have that either. Now, it's a bit. Is it a bit presumptuous to call it the Staples World? Has it always been called that?
Yeah, well, actually, it started out with the first newspaper in Staples. The town wasn't called Staples. It was called Presto because the railroad came through and a town moved up. And so they called their newspaper the Presto Changeo.
Oh, yeah. Presto Changeo.
Yeah, but then they...
Come on, Mark. You're kidding. Is that true?
We have copies of the Presto Changeo here in our office.
Oh, that's awesome.
Why was it changed to Staples, I wonder?
Because it was named after the Staples Mill. The person named King Staples opened a mill.
Okay. How long have you been at the paper?
About 13 years.
And is there an editor, or do you also fulfill that role?
Yeah, I would be the editor, I guess.
Yeah. And you often do reporting. You just don't sit there and manage. You're out in the field.
Yeah, 90% of it is out in the field doing reporting. I do city meetings, sports, whatever's going on.
Is the paper healthy?
Yeah, we're doing okay, I guess. I mean, small town newspapers maybe didn't take as big of a hit because this is still the only place where you can get a lot of this local news.
Right.
Most of it isn't online.
Do you lay out the paper?
Yes, we do that.
No. Do you?
Oh, yeah, I do it myself. Yeah.
In other words, you're pretty much a one-man show. You have some help, but you're pretty much, don't be modest, you're pretty much a one-man band here.
Yeah, there's times when I put the paper out a lot by myself, but there's also times when the other people take more of a role.
Do you cover sports?
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, yes, Rook, you had a question? Or who had, Kenny?
Please, Mark, please tell me you don't have to do sales.
Not really. I kind of do that, but that's not a big part of it. We have some regular advertisers, so that's kind of what we go to.
Obviously, Such isn't going to be truthful here. Joe Soucheray isn't going to be truthful with you, so I'm going to. One of his big irritating things, the things that's really stuck in his craw for many years, is the fact that reporting isn't what it used to be. It's a phrase we use almost every day here on the program. And I think your piece on the Moose was one of the first pieces that Such has seen in a long time that didn't leave any questions unanswered. We're really here to just laud your writing. It was just fantastic. But you're dancing around it. You're dancing around it and coming off as a big shot city dude.
No, I'm not.
And I want to just be truthful with Mark and pat him on the back and say we really respect your ability.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, I used to read Joe's columns, so...
Stopped reading them. Huh?
Yeah. Was it because of Trump? He was pretty good back then, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had his day, didn't he?
Hey, Mark, has any story in Staples in your 13 or 14 years there, has any story received more space and photographs than this Moose story?
I can't imagine. No, I think that's probably about the most.
Well, it was a break from the real world, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We added pages for our state wrestling team. Got second in state this year, so I added a couple pages for that. So they probably got more coverage. But
are you up there near St. Cloud?
No, he's
we're
not.
Like an hour past St. Cloud.
That's pretty
You're
close.
Between St. Cloud and Alec?
No,
no, we're closer to Brainerd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brainerd.
Central
west
Minnesota.
Of Brainerd.
Central.
And you have one of the most fabulous railroad depots in the United States, a 2-story big brick railroad depot. I love that thing.
Yeah. And it's still used as a railroad depot, which is...
You could catch an Amtrak there. Yep.
Yeah, the Amtrak stops. Yeah.
Mark, how old are you?
I'm 56 now.
Do you entertain any desires to move on to a bigger paper, or are you happy?
Oh, no, I'm happy here. I don't think I would want to go to a bigger paper. We have independent owners, and they just let us do our thing. And
if the Star Tribune covered this, they'd call the Moose they, them. So I think you have you got a good deal going.
Well, so somebody did tell us that it looked like a male, so I just went with that.
Mark, and again, that wouldn't have worked here. I'm glad you went with that. Yeah.
Mark, one more thing. and it sounds like Joe once again isn't being clear with you. I'll tell you what he's
What is
really
wrong with
saying.
Kenny?
What Joe is really saying, Mark, is, are you hiring? Can I have a job?
He's fishing. Read through the lines.
I'm just so envious you have a place to go. There's actually a building that you can go to. And
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, Mark, it was fun to talk to you, and it was a hell of a moose story because, as I said, it left no stone unturned. And I'm serious when I tell you that's rare these days. That's real rare. On the front page, you also had the story of the hay bale was on fire near the hospital.
Yeah.
Which is, you need to know that.
That's
stuff.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's one of the advantages of a small town newspaper. You see, it was the moose came through the day before Thanksgiving. Well, that means I didn't have to write it that day.
Okay.
It didn't come out for the next week. So
Perfect.
at Thanksgiving, I had to tell the story of the moose like 5 or 6 different times. So all the elements are right there in my head.
Well, on your opinion page for that day's paper, you also had a moose editorial.
Yeah. Just about things I know about mooses because we do see them once in a while.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Yep.
Mark Anderson is the editor and managing editor and field reporter.
Sounds like you don't have a job waiting for you
for
there.
the Staples.
Yeah.
He didn't offer anything, did he?
No.
Kenny brings up a good point. We all did notice a bit of jealousy in your questioning.
They got an office. They're downtown.
they got
Buffalo
Yeah.
downtown.
Yeah, and Joe, I don't want to make you more envious, but I'm looking at a picture on Facebook of the Staples World building. It's one of those quaint little old city buildings that you see all the time, and it's just just looks wonderful.
And just a little tip, Such. One of the first things you need to know when you're trying to get a job, you have to be able to locate the city on a map.
That's key.
You've got to know where it's at.
You know what kind of chairs I see in there, Rook? What kind of chairs do I see in there?
Inside the
What are they made out of, and what do they do?
inside the office of the
Staples World headquarters.
The world headquarters of the Staples World.
it's a it creaks. It's a creaking chair.
Yes.
I see like a green leather.
Yeah, okay, that's not what I see. Let's go to Kenny.
An office chair.
Well, let's go to Kenny. What do you
It's
see?
a wood
It's a
swivel
wood
chair.
swivel chair.
Oh,
So your feet can be up on the desk.
Oh, so you're up like this.
That's right.
Yep.
Hey, what do we got here?
Yeah,
What's going
that's
on?
right.
someone get on the moose story.
Yeah.
Do you think they can still smoke in the office?
Probably not.
Oh,
Probably
That might be a
not.
statewide thing.
And you're hearing the typewriter in the background.
But if they do smoke in the office, you know what they'd have in there? A spittoon.
Mm-hmm. And what is Mark wearing as he goes through his?
A green eye shade.
Yes, he's got the green hat on, and,
like Hunter Thompson.
and maybe even a garter, maybe
Could
even
be a
an arm garter.
Could be a garter, but
Yes.
he's got the green eye shade.
Oh yeah, and the coffee pot over in the corner.
And there's a doll that works there. She's a secretary, but she often pitches in on stories.
Yeah.
Does he have a jug in the second
Hey,
drawer?
that's a good question. We don't know that. You know, he might be a teetotaler. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I would. I don't know if he does. but,
Right.
you know,
Part of the job.
that's great. Thank you. And
Wow.
that the big was 3 months ago.
That's
Well, you know,
you 3 months old news like
perfect
us.
for us.
Yeah.
Stacy, the GL geologist, weighs in on the earthquake in Taiwan.
Oofta.
A 7.4 is a big deal, and she's noting that aftershocks are 6.6, 6, and 5 plus still coming in. She hasn't heard of many injuries, but it's very early in the process. But they got hit hard. If you saw the pictures of the office buildings,
Oh my God.
Oh my!
I wouldn't stand underneath
Well,
them.
didn't they issue basically evacuation because of the tsunami approaching?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the tsunami warning was taken off
Little-
the board.
Oh, it
A little
was
late.
Yeah, it did not materialize as they thought it would.
that
So-
she probably sent that to us early. I know she said she hadn't heard about injuries, but there have been 9 deaths.
Oh my
And,
God!
I'll actually will have that in the news. So,
Okay,
there
okay.
was some.
And as many readers have noted, many listeners have noted, Brian Buxton almost went on the DL yesterday. He almost got run down by the running bratwurst.
Saw that.
Saw the
Saw
video.
that.
Yeah. They have a hot dog race there, or a wiener race or something, where everybody the guys dressed up in their bratwurst costumes and run around the warning track, and he didn't see them coming and had to dart out of the way. It would have been a hell of a mess if Byron Buxton had to go on the DL because he was run over by a bratwurst.
Last week, the boys and I posed with those same bratwursts in Arizona, and we congratulated number 5. I posted this on Twitter a week ago. Number 4 responded saying, I was cheated.
Don't tell me they bring their mascots to spring training.
You want to see the video?
No, I don't want to.
How do you get that? How do you get that job? So you're saying you get to travel with the team?
I'm going to guess they were interns. Like, part of the team's internship program.
So a guy, 58-year-old.
Yeah, I think you're out.
Great, big
Nice.
You'd always lose.
You'd be number 5 in the race.
And you know that
I'll
suit
walk
just
the rest of
smells.
it.
It's just ripe.
Rook, when we posed next to him,
Worse than hockey.
Yeah, it was
Smells
bad.
like chili.
Yeah.
I'm noting this for no particular reason, except it printed when I printed a different story that I'll get to. But the first salty of the year has arrived in the Duluth
I
port.
did see that.
That was a big one.
Yeah, it's called the Barbro G, 623-foot long bulk carrier operating under the Portuguese flag, arrived under the aerial lift bridge at 11:44 a.m. Monday. I wonder if Kathy was there to watch it.
Did you see it go under?
I
I was
did not.
cringing there for a second.
did
It
not.
looked close.
And somebody named Ryan Cosson entered the 41st annual First Ship Contest that's been run by the Visit Duluth and Duluth Seaway Port Authority, guessing that the first salty would arrive. He had guessed that the first salty would arrive at 11:45 a.m. April 1st. He was 1 minute off.
Well, I bet he was just hand-wringing, huh?
That's
Do you
an honor.
do you want to break some news right here on
Yes.
GL
Well,
regarding Duluth?
Yes.
From what I'm hearing from the offices of Mrs. Cargill,
Yes.
if she is in fact victorious, or if she in fact can buy all of the land on that 7-mile strip,
Right.
we will be dismantling the lift bridge, and the 7-mile strip will only be accessible by helicopter.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Now you're getting this in your role as her public relations.
That's what it's starting to sound like. Yeah. They, I get an update every day. They keep me in the loop, and I'm allowed to say that. Only that. to you.
Will it still be a port for ocean-going boats?
Oh yeah. She doesn't know. She has no concern over what goes on in the harbor there. She just all she cares about is that 7-mile strip. And where that airport is going to be turning private. And like I said, 777s will be landing there. So you'll be, her guests will be able to access that either by their personal jets or helicopters.
Okay. This is you have inside information.
Yeah, I just thought I'd give you a little one there, a little bit of info.
Do you want to know what Jeff, the winner, Ryan Cosson, won for being the most accurate prognosticator for the first arrival?
Dinner at Fitger's for 2.
He wins the grand prize package that includes an overnight stay. It doesn't say where.
They got some good places up there.
Holy Alina's up
Right.
in
He gets an
Granbury.
overnight stay.
Overnight
It does not
stay.
tell us where. Now, see, that's something Mark Anderson would have had from the
Sleep in
Staples
the
world.
camper behind the cookie
Right.
shop.
Mark Anderson would have said to the people responsible for this, well, where is the overnight
Yeah.
stay?
What do I win?
That's right.
What do I win?
That's
Everything above the erasers, but not next to the shot glass.
Can we have an Ilhan Omar update,
I
please?
needed to.
I might take you a moment to find that. That's
Is she in the
okay.
news again?
Well,
Are there antics?
No, I have a ray of hope.
Oh.
I have a ray of hope.
I haven't seen
Here is your
anything about
latest
her.
Ilhan Omar report on Garage Logic.
Don Samuels is very strong in the polling. He's running against Ilhan, and everyone in Minneapolis should, of course, vote for Don Samuels. He has put his money where his mouth is. He has lived in the neighborhood. He knows the people, and This is the second time, I believe, he's run against Omar. He lost in 2022 by just 2 points.
Wow.
And I can't. If Minneapolis citizens, I don't have a great deal of hope that they'll come to their senses. They've helped manufacture what is now a very much a city in terrible decline. Samuels would turn that around, or certainly take steps to help turn that around. The 5th, though, is the most left-wing radical district in the state, and if not the entire country, and he would have his work cut out for him. But she's polling. She's polling at 30%. He's polling at 21%. I don't know how he's going to crack her solid constituency, but if anyone can, it's Don Samuels and the people of Minneapolis. Well, the 5th district, which is That's St. Louis Park and Richfield and New Hope, Brooklyn Center, Fridley, St. Anthony, Columbia Heights, Spring Lake Park, parts of Edina. Why have you people done this to yourselves? She has done nothing for you. She's not there for you. She's there for her own worldview, her own ideology that has nothing to do with you people. And you have a chance now with Don Samuels to vote for a homie, for a guy that lives right there.
He needs to get the word out better. I need to be seeing something at least once a week about his campaign, either in the newspaper or on TV channels. He really needs to get after it.
And just think, if he starts to pull even closer, imagine how many more illegals we're going to have to get into the 5th congressional district.
That's right.
To register to vote.
That's right.
You're going to wear that drum out, Chris.
How's his fundraising going, Joe? Do you have any info on
I
that?
do not have any info on
Don could use some money.
Book Don.
Yeah, I was going to say, why not have him on Garage Logic?
Let's book Don. That
Okay, Dano.
what's her name will not come on. She's been asked 1,000 times. She'll go on with people that she knows.
She was in the building 2 weeks ago
I
with
believe
Mr.
Tom Hauser
with
talked to her.
Mr. Hauser. Yep.
The last primary, Joe, 115,000 votes were cast, and he only lost to her by 2,400. So that's, that.
mean just 2-3 months ago?
No, the last primary, which was in the last election.
Oh,
section.
I see. Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
So
Wasn't there another person in that primary?
There was 3 other people in primary, but none of them got more than 600 votes. So even those votes wouldn't have won it, but only 2,400. I mean, that's nothing in an election with that many people casting votes. So hopefully, that can spin the other way around.
Minneapolis has a chance. Whether they take it is problematic.